Čech, co pracuje v Silicon Valley ve firmách jako je Google, Dropbox nebo Airbnb. V dnešním videu nám můj kamarád Honza povypráví o tom, jaký to je pracovat v centrálách těch nejznámějších technologických firem na světě a co člověk musí udělat pro to, aby se tam dostal.
So I worked for Nvidia, I worked for Google, I worked for Dropbox, and now it's Airbnb. So wow. 4 companies, yeah.
You change companies like socks. V průběhu toho rozhovoru nás taky provede centrálou Airbnb v San Fanciscu. Tam je zajímavý to, že každá zasedací místnost, která je v té kanceláři, je namodelovaná podle reálného bytu, který je v nabídce na Airbnb. Čeká nás nabitý rozhovor, takže jestli vás tohle zajímá, tak se dívejte dál. A jdeme na to.
Oh, hi Dave!
Oh, well here, hey there guys, welcome to my office. Sorry guys, I overslept a little bit. Let me just make the bed. All right, let's go to work. Let's go to work. Oh, I don't need this. Okay. No. Takhle, no. What's up, guys? Thank you for tuning in. Today I'm here with Jan.
Hello.
And we're at the Airbnb headquarters in San Francisco. Today we're gonna talk all about getting into tech in Silicon Valley. Velká znělka?
Yeah. Okay. Já jsem říkal, co mám něco dělat.
So Jan, what do you do here at Airbnb?
So I'm a senior software engineer. I work on something called Airbnb Plus, which is a program that has listings that are verified for quality and comfort.
And you worked at various companies here in Silicon Valley.
Right.
What are the companies that you actually worked at here?
Right. So I worked for Nvidia, I worked for Google, I worked for Dropbox, and now it's Airbnb. So wow. 4 companies, yeah.
You change companies like socks.
Well, the average I wouldn't say so, but the average retention rate is usually like around 2 years for a software engineer.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think I've been like on average pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. And you're doing your 2nd year here right now?
This is my 2nd year, yeah. And
watch out, Airbnb. I'm just kidding. How did you get into tech in Silicon Valley?
Well, I originally started in Atlanta. I went to grad school at Georgia Tech. Got my master's there. Then I got a job offer here in Silicon Valley. It was internship actually for Nvidia. That turned into a full-time offer.
Okay.
And yeah, I've been here ever since. That was actually almost, like 8 years ago.
Okay.
I have been here for a while.
Still loving life in the Bay Area?
It's a good life.
Yeah. So you worked at so many different companies here. Like, what did you have to do to be able to get in?
You see, I don't think, well, one thing I actually think you have to have is like a good background in terms of school. I think school is actually very important. But that just opens the door for you, really, right? Then, you get into an interviewing process, but then you actually have to show the skill. And at that point, it doesn't really matter what you have on your resume. As long as you get into that stage, then the skill is the only thing that matters. I obviously was quite lucky. I got to a good school, but I feel like, if you show the skill, like one of the things here in Silicon Valley is a big deal. We don't have enough software engineers. Like by far, there's a huge demand for software engineering. Every company is trying to hire like crazy. So you don't need much actually. You just need to somehow be able to get into the interviewing process. And once you do, it's all about the skill. And
is the college like the main factor that determines whether you'll get into the process, or?
I think it's one of the main factors. I don't think it's a necessary requirement. Absolutely.
Yeah, sorry. It's fucking hot in here.
It's getting here. Yeah, it's getting a little hot. Yeah. Nebude taky divný, že najednou bude cut a ty budeš mít úplně triko. Okay. Having a good school, beat any one of those major league schools or like anything that's widely recognized as a good school definitely helps. I don't think that's the only factor. You can definitely, have a great achievement in terms of like having contributed to open source software, or you can be known in the community, or you have to show something, right? Okay. Because there's so many applications going in, it's difficult really to stand out in such a huge influx of people. So you kind of want to stand out somehow, right?
Do you have any examples of colleagues that that haven't gone to like these prime universities but still managed to get the offers?
Oh, actually, interesting. I'm actually not sure. We don't really talk about that. So it's possible someone like I don't know the background.
Okay.
It's not something that just comes up soon. But I'm sure there are people like that.
Jak vypadám?
No, já jako jsem se taky moc nesprchoval.
Já jsem se sprchoval, ale nejsem učesaný moc.
Já jsem se učesal, nesprchoval.
Učesal, nesprchoval, sprchoval, neučesal.
Are there any specific traits that people who succeed in this environment have?
Well, we definitely need all kinds of people, right? So I don't think there's anything specifically that kind of gets you ahead of everyone. I mean, one of the things is kind of relentless and performance. Like, you need to be here, you need to, you know, work hard. It's really hard work. I mean, sometimes people just see the fruits. They see, you know, how you know, everybody's, not many people actually, you know, if you join a startup, not many startups make it, right? So people think of, like, you know, Mark Zuckerberg or like Bill Gates. Those guys made it obviously big, right? But very few people make it like this, right? If you just want to join as an engineer, have a decent life, I think, you know, performance, relentlessness. Obviously, you should kind of be, in terms of engineering, you should be good in math and, you know, being able to solve algorithms, data structures, and all these things. If you apply here at tech, you know, one of these tech companies, especially if it's a startup or like, you need to be able to make the sacrifice. It's so like, it's a hard pace here. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of long hours. You know, we do have all these fancy, schmancy, you know, micro kitchens and food and all, and it's all great. But
free alcohol.
Nothing is free, right?
Oh yeah.
But we do have a lot of benefits here. That's true. But at the same time, it's a huge amount of work. It's a lot of personal sacrifice too. Many people work like long hours, overtime, you know, weekends too. So unless you're willing to make that sacrifice, or unless you're willing to live this kind of life, you probably, you know, should reconsider maybe some kind of other job, like, you know, in a bank or something.
McDonald's.
Like not McDonald's, but like, you know, like an assistant at a bank or something, you know, just like, it's not a typical 9-to-5 job, let me put it this way. It's definitely more like whatever time is needed, you know. Sometimes, you know, I come in late, I leave late. Sometimes I come in early, I still leave late. Okay. So there is no like, you don't do 8 hours a day. You do more like 12, 13 easily. Especially if there's like a crunch time, sometimes due to weekends, holidays, doesn't matter. It's not like they would ask you to that, but it's kind of almost necessary to get the project done because it's so much. There's so much competition. It's so competitive. So long hours, a lot of work.
Would you be able to compare your life in Dropbox, Airbnb, Google, in any way?
All are great companies. Google, Nvidia, Dropbox, and Airbnb, they're all, you know, they have a great culture. It's not easy to compare them, also because I was in different stages of my career in each of the companies. So it's not exactly the same for me, but, you know, obviously I end up with Airbnb. I think that's a great choice for me. I like Airbnb a lot. I think it's a great company. It's an awesome culture here. But yeah, even Dropbox has, you know, it's a great culture, very smart people there. So is, I mean, obviously Google. Google is well known for its, you know, smart people and culture. So again, I would say they do kind of stand almost on the same level. One company maybe offers you, I don't know, more benefits. The other one offers you more free time. So there's like nuances to it, but they're actually very similar in the core values.
Would you be able to point to something that was like your favorite thing about like the each of the four?
Interesting. Well, I think the my most favorite thing at Dropbox was the food. Like the food was phenomenal. We had this guy. His name is like, it's just called Chef Brian. Okay. It's sort of like the food we had at Dropbox is like exquisite. I don't know how to describe it. It's so good. It's better than most of the restaurants you can go to. Like literally by far. It's really great. Really great food. That's what I remember about Dropbox. And I mean, obviously, you know, I was on a good team. I was working on something called Dropbox Paper. You know, which was quite fun. Well, then I went to Google. Google, you know, has a great offices. I like the fact about Google is there's so many offices all around the world. Okay. You can actually just pretty much in any major city, you can just go to and work from their office. That's awesome. Yeah, like I've worked from 4 or 5 offices around the world, you know, in like including Prague and in Tel Aviv, and then actually Tel Aviv was actually Dropbox. But
you stay like a couple of weeks at a time.
I mean, yeah, it's like you know, sometimes when I go home or so, like I just like stay a few days and work from there. So it was really cool. I was in New York office too. You know, again, nice. a lot of offices in the world because it's a huge company. It's a big company.
Are there any negative aspects to working at Google, let's say, and Dropbox? Let's start with Google.
There's definitely one. Like for example, with Google, it's such a big company. Think of Google like a huge ship, right? And you kind of like one small engine or like one small guy who's trying to turn around the ship.
Yeah.
It's much bigger to do it for a bigger company than like a small company, you know. So the impact is having a larger impact on the company decision is very difficult for like a sole software engineer.
What about Dropbox? Is there anything that you could point to that you disliked or that was like a negative aspect of working there?
I mean, not really. There was like a lot of long hours. Our system wasn't necessarily that much stable, so we had a lot of. I was on call for that for Dropbox. We had a lot of pages, so there was like
on call meaning they could always call you into the office.
Right?
Or?
No. On call means it's funny. Think of it as
like the doctor who needs to go to surgery.
We carry pagers. Yeah, we carry pagers.
You had pagers?
Yeah, I have pagers.
Dropbox?
I hear at Airbnb too.
Oh, okay.
And Google too. So you carry a pager with you. It's actually it's not like a physical device. It's part of your phone.
Right.
It's an app.
Right.
And then you get paged. Like literally, you get paged, and your phone wakes you up at like 2 a.m. and you have to like pull up your laptop.
Did that happen to you?
Yeah, many times.
Okay, so you have to open your laptop and solve a problem.
And you know whatever the problem is, you just need to investigate.
What was the problem, like the last one you worked on?
Depends. There's so many. Like
a bug.
Could be someone's trying to hack you. Or, like we have shifts. It's always like you 1 week on call, then you have like 3 weeks off, then you 1 week on call and 3. But being on call means 24/7 for that week. Anybody, at any time, you can get a page, and you just need to be able to, wake up and pull up your laptop and open it and log in and just like, what's going on and figure it out, which is sometimes a little tricky, especially in the middle of the night. You're like half sleeping, So,
What's next for Jan?
What's next for me? What's next for Jan? Well, Jan's gonna finish his glass. That's the first thing. Cheers. No, I don't know. I feel like Airbnb might be like the final destination. Well, maybe not final, but like for the foreseeable future,
How should I go about picking a tech firm to work at here in Silicon Valley?
Well, I think
how do you go about it?
Yeah, no, I think one of the important things is you want to think about what's the company mission? Is this something that interests you? Is this something that you identify yourself with, right? If you're an engineer looking for a job, try to find a company that kind of resonates with your worldview. And also, obviously, Airbnb is hiring, so,
And you get a commission if they hire these people?
No, you'll get a commission if they hire.
Oh, great, okay. Yeah, Airbnb is hiring, and apply now.
You'll get some Airbnb credit.
Awesome. Is there anything you want to leave the audience with?
I think, like, just, whatever you guys do, just make sure you do what's your passion. Don't do something you don't like. Life is too short for that. That's what I'd say. Yeah. Find something that you love and let it kill you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Jan. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
All right. Tody.
Good. Okay.
That's it. 26 minutes. See?
Ty vole, no, tak jsi to odhadl 25, vole.
Jo, no. Jsme přestěl trochu. This is the best office in the world.